I am not here because I have it all figured out. I am here because I am done living life on autopilot. Because there is a moment in a person's life where you realize you can't keep living the same way, doing the same things, and expect a different version of yourself to magically appear. And to be honest, this is that moment for me. I used to be that girl that starts the year very motivated, excited for January, consistent in February, and by March, the momentum is gone. I will feel so confused, unclear. I will scroll on social media for hours, hoping motivation finds me instead of taking responsibility for my own life. And if that sounds like you, if you feel stuck in that exact same circle, I want you to just sit still. Grab your pen and your paper because I'm about to help you understand why change hasn't lasted for you before. We're not here for motivational talks, aspire to acquire. We're not doing that here. I'm here to help you understand how to make this year different for you. Welcome back. Hi, I'm Jessica Nicholas, Nico for short, and this is my first official YouTube video. I'm so excited, guys, because I can't believe I'm doing this. So what do you have to do for me? Just subscribe to my YouTube channel, turn on the post notification so you stay tuned whenever I post, because I'm going to be spilling a lot of tea on this channel. So let's get straight into today's business because we have a lot to talk about. So first things first, this video is divided into 4 chapters. The first chapter, which is from motivation to building system, behavior over outcome, and designing for your worst days, and the last chapter, which is the homework chapter, the action step. Now let's get straight to the biggest mindset shift for me, which is motivation is outdated. We don't do that here. What we need is system. People feel they're not motivated enough. That's why you hear things like, I need to push myself harder, I need to stay motivated this time. But the truth is, motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. Motivation comes when there is that thing that gives you this euphoria feeling. Maybe it's the new year, or something exciting is happening in your life, or when you watch a very inspiring video, but it disappears once you get tired, when life gets really busy for you, once things don't go as planned, when you're tired, overwhelmed, stressed, it disappears. And that's why you see people so pumped. They start strong from the beginning of the year and slowly and quietly they quit. The momentum is gone. Why? Because they are busy looking for motivation instead of building systems for themselves. And I know some persons out there asking, what is this system she's talking about? How do I differentiate building system and motivation? What is this? What is it? Yada, yada, yada. I'm here for you. Now, what is the difference between motivation and building system? It comes down to one word: structure. Motivation focuses on emotions, while system relies on structure. Like I said earlier, motivation is that internal drive, excitement, or desire that pushes you to do something. It is the why, the reason you want to achieve your goals. And it falls and rises depending on your mood, your environment, and basically your energy. Systems, on the other hand, are just repeatable routine that makes progress almost automatic. Like it becomes a part of you by default. It's all about designing your environment and your habits in a way that makes results happen without you necessarily needing motivation. And for example, in order for me to achieve my goals of reading 20 books by the end of 2026, I make sure whatever book I am currently reading, I put it by the side of my bed in order to trigger the habit of reading. So it automatically becomes a routine I cannot negotiate with. Now, what am I saying in essence? Systems helps you design your space, structure your space, your time, and your environment in order to make your desired action easier for you. Do you understand? Next, you need to know how to build a system. Now, how do you build a system? First things first, decide what you want. You need to decide where you want to go or the direction you want to move in order for you to build a system. Because a system without a direction is just a random activity. If you don't decide where you want to go to or the direction you want to move in, then every activity feels pointless and you will quit easily. And that's why you see people by the middle of the year that are telling themselves, why am I even doing this in the first place? Because there is no clear direction. Now, your routine has to be built in a way that whatever activity you're doing becomes automatically for you, where you don't need motivation to act. Step 2, make it short and realistic. And don't get me wrong, when I say make it short and realistic, I don't mean limiting yourself. I mean separating identity from execution. Now, this is where most people get this all wrong. I'm that girlie that is all about being delusional about your goals and who you're becoming, but practical about how you get there. And I know many of us love the idea of alter ego, which is very powerful. Don't get me wrong, it's so powerful. But you need to know that these people, they've built the capacity over the years. Now, let's say Rihanna is your alter ego, and Rihanna is someone that wakes up by 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. to get her work done. Intense work, for focus for 10 hours, journal for 2 hours, goes to the gym morning and night, does all of those things very perfect. And let's be honest, this lady has built this over the years, and you cannot force yourself into achieving that in months, because that would be burnout disguised as ambition. So think like your alter ego, believe like her, carry yourself like her, but build your system like a beginner, because execution is where most people's vision collapse. So if your alter ego does 10 hours work, you can decide to do yours for like 2 hours. Or if she journals for 2 hours, then you can start journaling for like 30 minutes. The point of this is for your system being able to work with your own pace, something like that. Do you get? You don't just jump into journaling for 30 minutes or for 2 hours or for 3 hours. You will get exhausted. And I'm telling you the truth. So work on your own pace. Start with something that would work with where you are now. Because we don't copy the workload of the person we are becoming. We copy the consistency. And consistency is all that matters. Because we don't want to start the year pumped and end the year quietly doing nothing. We want to start the year pumped, achieving our goals, and still remaining pumped by the end of the year. That is all we're all about. Okay? Good. Step 3. Accept mistakes and continue. Systems over perfection. The thing is, missing a day doesn't mean you are a failure. What matters is returning back to the system. And there is this rule I've built for myself. If I miss a day, it is normal. But if I miss 1 week, then there is a problem. Because you cannot tell me you will quit brushing your teeth because you missed just a day. It's not possible. Anything that will make you not to brush for 1 week, you need to go and check yourself out. You need to know what the problem is. So if you miss 1 day, it is okay to continue back. And if you even miss 2, it is okay to come back. But there is a problem when you decide not to do it alone, when the momentum drops. So we are not doing that. All we're doing is building a system that works for us. You don't necessarily have to be perfect. Do you understand? Get the flipping work done. Lastly, make it attractive. Make your routine fun and enjoyable. If your routine feels like punishment or chore, your brain will reject it automatically. Now, I used to drag myself out of the bed every morning. I would set alarm and I would switch it off immediately because I wanted more sleep. But that changed when I stopped forcing discipline and I started designing enjoyment. Now, I've built a morning routine for myself that I actually look forward to. That is waking up in the morning, listening to nice gospel music and reading my Bible. And reading Bible might not seem fun to some people, but that combination creates peace, joy, and alignment for me. After that, I will listen to my favorite podcast or dance in my room while I stay ready for the day, and that will just ease into my day. And now I'm not waking up saying, discipline. I'm waking up very happy. I can't wait because I have created a routine for myself that I look forward to, and that is the secret. Make your routine favorable. Whatever system you're building for yourself, make it attractive in your own way. If you love listening to music, pair it with your habits. If you love learning, listen to nice podcasts while you get ready for your day. Just pair it with a habit. Just make it fun and always add a reward. When you pair action with pleasure, your brain releases dopamine, and dopamine strengthens your habit. So the loop becomes you show up, you feel good, you want to do it again, and voila, the system sticks. This brings us to the chapter 2 of this video, which is behavior over outcome. This chapter covers how to stop fantasizing over outcome and become the person who gets them done. Most people don't fail because they don't want enough. They fail because they are obsessed with outcomes and not behaviors. And here is what I mean. When people set goals, they usually sound like this.
I want to be more confident. I need to get the job. I need to be more successful. I need to be financially free.
All of those things sound good, but they're just outcomes. Do you get? They don't tell your brain what to do on a random Tuesday when you're tired. And that exactly is the problem, because outcomes don't change your life. Behavior do. An outcome is the destination. A behavior is the road. You don't just wake up one morning and become confident. You build confidence by repeating behaviors that teach you to trust yourself. You don't just suddenly become successful. You become successful by showing up to the small, boring actions consistently. So instead of asking yourself, what do I want? Start asking yourself, what does a person who already has this do daily? And that is where identity comes in. When you start acting like the version of yourself you want to become, not perfectly but consistently, your brain starts to shift. At that point, you are no longer chasing results, you are practicing identity. And here is how to apply it in real time. If your goal is to become confident, don't just write to become confident. Write, I speak up in a meeting or gathering. I make eye contact with people while talking. I show up when uncomfortable. And if your goal is to become financially free or to make more money, don't just write to make more money. Write to learn a high in demand skill, to practice or monetize my knowledge daily, something like that. Or better still, you write, I track my expenses, because behaviors train your identity and identity produces results. So I am here to tell you, queens, not to rise the level of your goals, but to fault the level of your behaviors, because your future is built in what you do repeatedly when no one is watching. That thing you do when no one is watching, those behaviors that you do when no one is watching, those things that you actively do to become that version of yourself every day when no one is watching, that is what makes you who you are and not the outcome. So what do you do instead? Practice those things, those small behaviors, those little behaviors that will result to you becoming that dream person you want. Start doing them now. This brings us to chapter 3 of this video. I am so excited about this chapter because this chapter practically saved my life. It helped me. Everything that will be discussed in this chapter helped me to become who I am today, who is conscious about her future and becoming her dream girl. Everything that has helped me so far is in this chapter, which is designing for your worst days. This chapter explains why your system must work when motivation disappears, and here is the truth most people avoid. You don't fail because you are lazy, you fail because you design only for your best days. Yes, the motivated days, the high energy days, the new year, new me days, when things go so well for you. But that is not when life happens. Life happens when you are tired, when you are overwhelmed, when things don't go as planned, when you are so tired and everything becomes so unclear, confusion here and there. That is when life happens. And if your goal is designed only for your best days, it will fall off. So instead of asking yourself, what can I do when I'm motivated? Start asking yourself, what can I still do when I'm exhausted, discouraged, or mentally drained? That is where real growth comes in. The problem with most goal settings is that it ignores your worst days. People design routines that looks impressive on paper. 2 hours of journaling, full body workout, deep work focus every single day. It sounds productive, but it collapses the moment life gets heavy. You miss one day, you miss 2, you feel guilty, then voila, you stop completely. Not because you can't do it, but because your system was never designed to support you when life gets heavy or when you are human. So now that we understand why people quit, let me show you how to build for your worst days. And I want you to be 100% honest with yourself. So ask yourself, what does my worst day actually look like? Is it when I am on my period? Is it when I am emotional? Is it when I'm overly stimulated? Is it when I'm mentally drained? Is it when I am busy with work or something? Anything. But note, your worst day is not when you are lazy. It is when your energy is low. Do you understand? Next, you need to decide what still counts for you on a bad day. Because your bare minimum is the smallest action that keeps the habit alive. Instead of 1 hour of work, how about we do 30 minutes? Because for me, my worst day is when I'm on my period. I am tired, I have cramps, my energy is low, my focus is off. Instead of pretending those days don't exist, I build my system around them because my energy is low, and at that point, my goal is not perfection, my goal is presence. So if I am to watch a YouTube video and just learn 2 things or just take key points, that is okay for me. If my goal is to pray, I don't necessarily have to kneel or stand. I could just lie on my bed and just say 2 genuine sentences to God, and that is enough. That may not look impressive, but it's about keeping the identity alive. And consistency is not about doing the most, it's about not disappearing. The conclusion of this chapter, my favorite chapter, it is designing for your worst days is not lowering your standards. It's actually raising chances of you succeeding, because it is not about how hard you go in January. It is whether you are still showing up in July. Okay, so design for your worst days. Those days that you know things don't really go for you, those are the days you're supposed to take seriously. Write down a routine for those days. Whatever routine you're building for yourself, if it's I wake up by this time, I wake up by 2, I wake up by 3 every day. Now, what about those days where something happens, or when life gets really heavy, you need to also make sure those days are included in your routine, so you keep the habit alive and do not totally leave it from you. Do you understand? I'm trying to make you people understand me so well, because I used to be that person that design for when it is the new year. I'm designing my goals, I'm doing this, I'm so hyped, all this. But when life really hits me, I don't know what to do, because my routine was not designed for those days. So what I'm telling you now is, those days where life gets heavy, where you are tired, discouraged, overwhelmed, when things are not going your way, design for those days. Build a routine around them. This brings us to the last chapter of this video, which is the homework chapter, or the action step. When I started this video, I said you guys to grab your pen and your paper, and I believe you guys are jotting. Now I want you to pause, take a deep breath, because this part matters the most. Everything we've talked about so far can only work if you are ready to apply them. And if you want 2026 to be different for you, you need to be willing and ready to implement everything we've talked about so far. So grab your pen and your paper, take a deep breath, because we're about to enter the therapy mode. Step 1. Choose one area of your life you feel stuck. Perhaps we have so many areas in our lives where we feel stuck, but we'll choose one. We are going to stick with one just to make this exercise effective. It could be discipline, financial growth, procrastination, faith, health, anything. Because to me, growth is not about doing more. It's about doing less with intention. And the area I feel stuck is my health. I'm going to be part of this exercise in order for me to explain this properly. Step 2. Write the version of the person you want to become, or better still, define the identity of the person you are becoming. Nothing fancy, not the fancy version, not the perfect version, anything. For me, I am stuck in my health. So I would ask myself, if I was already becoming a healthy woman, what kind of person would I be? A healthy woman pays attention to her body. She drinks enough water. She doesn't ignore symptoms. She doesn't eat anyhow. She takes her health seriously. And that is not perfection. That is identity. A version I want to become. So for you, it could be anything. It could be confidence. It could be financial freedom. Anything. Just write the version of yourself you want to become. How do these people act? How do they live? Do you get? This is to make you understand how to live your life on a daily basis. Step 3, shrink the identity into daily behaviors. And here is where most people get it all wrong, or they get stuck. And I want you to listen closely. Now, instead of asking myself, how do I stay healthy? I think the real question is, what does a healthy person do on a normal day? Not her best day, not her aesthetic day, just a normal day. Then I shrink it down to what I can do. That will be drinking a bottle of water every morning, replace a junk snack with something healthy, rest when my body needs it, or be conscious of what I eat. Do you understand? These seem simple, but they are very powerful because they are repeatable. For this is the final step, turn it into a system. Now, this is now your system. Instead of saying, I want to be healthy, then you say, this is a 1 to 3 behaviors I will do no matter what. Now, this becomes your identity. This becomes your system. This becomes a real growth for you. Like I said earlier, do not rise to the level of your goals, but fall to the level of your behavior. So now, instead of chasing the outcome, I am practicing the identity one step at a time. This brings us to the end of this video. So if there is one thing you should learn out of this video is, you don't need motivation. You need system that works even on your worst days. Understand your worst days and build a system or a routine. Build something that works for you regardless. So you don't necessarily need to be motivated for you to act. Okay? Now, this brings us the end of this video for real. This channel is basically here to teach you guys how to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. We are not all about perfection. We're here to build ourselves, build our dream lives, and basically become our best self. So, kindly subscribe to my channel, stay tuned for my next video, and I am so happy that you guys are here. I can't believe that I'm doing this first of all, and I don't know how I feel about all of this. I'm so excited. I'm so grateful that I left my comfort zone basically. So just anything that you find really interesting, just put it down in the comment section, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.